Today we're going to be looking at the Evans Metalsmithing Barrel Polisher and Rubber Barrel from Manchester Minerals. This particular machine differs from the lapidary version in the sense it has thicker spindles here, and also the motor is more of a heavy duty motor due to the increased weight we're going to be putting into the barrel with the steel shot and the pieces we're going to be barrel polishing. This process of barrel polishing is a fabulous time saver, in the sense if you can put your items in the barrel, you can set it going, come back then in half an hour or an hour's time, and your pieces will be nicely polished. Now, this machine with the steel shot will only polish the surface. So the surface has to be of a great finish before it goes into the barrel. You have to go through the various grits and at least finish it down to about 1000 or 1200 grit before it goes into the barrel. It will purely burnish over the surface. So if you have something that perhaps you've just filed or you just buffed with quite a coarse grit emery paper like a 600 grit and you put it into the barrel, you will not have a nice smooth shiny surface, because all those little grooves from the grit and from the file marks will be polished themselves, so you'll still have the lines in it. So the idea is you need to finish your pieces to a good standard first of all, and then this machine then will burnish the surface for the action of the steel shot, and it'll have a lovely shiny finish to it. So let's get into it. The machine comes as a unit, and you have to purchase the metalsmithing barrel separately. This is different from a normal lapidary barrel. It's a lot more of a heavy duty barrel. It has one end that comes off, and inside the barrel you can just see these two little veins running the length of the barrel, and that aids the shot when it comes and it's being tumbled to sort of burnish over the surface and to agitate it, and it isn't just running down, it's being forced over onto the pieces, which produces a fantastic shine. So we also need to buy separately a tub of steel shot. This is stainless steel shot. It has a variety of shapes, this steel shot. If I can get it undone, there we go. It has these rods. It also has small little balls, little spheres, and also these little planetoids as well, they call them. And all these different shapes help to burnish the pieces and get into all the little nooks and crannies of the items that you put into it. So how much do we actually need to put into the barrel? Well, usually it's around about a 2/3 steel shot to 1/3 items that need to be polished. We need to put water into this now as well, and we need to make sure that the water covers the stainless steel shot. I'd say around about 10 or 15 millimeters. We also need some burnishing soap or some barrel soap. Now, what do we need this for? Well, this is a soap that helps the burnishing action. It cuts down on the friction and enables the shot to roll over the surface far more easy. And also, this is an anti-rust or rust inhibitor, in the sense of you can leave the steel shot in the water providing it has the barrel soap in here, and the shot won't rust or discolor. How much do we put in? Roughly around about a level teaspoon for the amount that we've got in there. You put more water or more shot, add perhaps a heaped teaspoon. What I would also advise first of all then is, this is a brand new barrel, is to set it in motion for around about half an hour. There may be some impurities or something on the insides of the barrel here that you don't necessarily want to be sort of burnished into the surface. So always do this first of all when you get a new barrel. Put the lid on, making sure that the lid snaps over the lip of the barrel itself. And one little tip is when the burnishing action takes place, you feel the barrel warming up slightly. Now that air then will expand because hot air does expand. And sometimes it will push water out of the seal that you've got around the edge here. Now a way of stopping that happening is once you put the lid on, is to get the palm of your hand, the ball of your hand, onto the center part of the lid. And as you push down, lift up on the edge and you should hear some air escape. That will produce a little bit of a vacuum inside the barrel, so when the air heats up, it will just fill that space and not force any water out. So put the ball of your hand in the center and lift up the edge, and a little bit of air escapes, making sure it is all sealed nicely. Come around, look at the edge, make sure it's all in place, and pop it onto the machine. Now turn the machine on. There is no on-off switch on the main lid here, so we have to turn it on at the mains and let the barrel roll for around about half an hour initially before you put anything into the barrel. It's a bit noisy because I'm on a glass table. If you want to cut down on the noise, put it on perhaps a double layer of a towel or a bit of sponge, and that will help suppress the noise. So we're going to let that carry on now for half an hour. So the machine now has been going for around about half an hour. So from the end that has the removable cap, remove that, and you can see the effect of the soap. It's all bubbling up. Now we need to remove the water, remove what is in here, and then we can put fresh in. The best way that I feel of doing that is to get a nice bowl and a sieve, a nice fine mesh sieve, and simply pour the water into the sieve. That will get rid of the water, but keep all the shot nice and safe. If you want to, just rinse out the barrel as well. Nice. Pop the shot back in. Throw away the water. And now we can start our tumbling process. Again, same amount of water, centimetre and a half above the shot, level teaspoon of barreling soap, and to try out the barrel, I've got some pieces of jewellery here. They have been finished to a reasonable finish. There's some areas in this fold formed earring that we haven't polished by hand in this area here, but this is fantastic type of polishing to get into all these little nooks and crannies. And there's some various pieces here that does need polishing. They have all been finished to a reasonable standard with some fine emery paper. So let's put the lid on. Again, put that over the edge. Push down with the heel of your hand to release any air, so the lid has a slight dip in the middle. Make sure now that that is sealed all the way around. That's looking good. Pop that onto the barrel polisher. Now, how long for? I'd recommend to come back and revisit the barrel and have a look about every half an hour or so. 2 hours maximum. If it's not going to polish within 2 hours, then it's not going to polish at all. But come back after half an hour, have a look, bit longer, put it back in just to make sure that all those little areas have been polished. And it will warm up, as I said earlier, slightly due to the burnishing, the barreling effect. The water will heat up, the air will heat up, and that is why we put that little bit of a depression on here, forcing some of the air out so the air doesn't push out any of the water. And simply leave it on there and turn it on, and away it goes. And you can go and do something else whilst the polishing action is taking place. The barreling soap, the shot, the barrel and the barrel polisher itself are all available from Manchester Minerals. The links I will leave in the description down below. If you're going to be tumbling a lot more items in there, you can always add another container worth full of shot into the barrel. I wouldn't recommend to fill the barrel more than about just over half, 3/4 full. Anything more than that, there's going to be too much material, too much media in the barrel, and it won't have that decent burnishing barreling action. But for half a dozen pieces, depending on the weight, one little container of shot should be ample. So let that carry on now for around about half an hour, and we'll come back and we'll take a look. About an hour now has gone by, and we're going to take a quick look and see what the pieces are like. As you can see, we got a lot of foam going on there. Put my hand in. Let's have a look. And as you can see now on this piece, we've got a super finish, even into the little nooks and crannies down this edge. Okay, so I think that is going to be suitable. That's enough what we need to do. So we're going to bring our bowl back and we're going to get our pieces out and pour it through. Put the barrel to one side. We can take a look and see how all our pieces are. The advantage of using this steel shot is that it does get in all the little areas that really you can't get a little polishing mop at all. We got a nice ring shank there. There's another ring there, and that's pretty much it. Let's pop that to one side. Let's get a bit more kitchen roll on this. And now, as you can see, it's got on the inside of this area here that would have been really difficult to get into with a polishing mop. It's got a lovely, gorgeous shine upon it. This piece here, this nice, heavily textured, it's got a fantastic finish upon that. This had quite a bit of a matte finish on this one, and as you can see again, this has got on the inside here the steel rod that goes through, nicely polished. All in all, it has produced a really good, fantastic shine. Now, I would not advise putting any stones in here, any stone set pieces, especially if it's something that's quite soft, like pearls or opals or coral or turquoise, anything like that. You will be able to get away with items that contain perhaps diamonds or rubies and sapphires. Those sort of stones, yes, I would put into the barrel, but anything other than those stones, I would really sort of discourage you doing. The steel is tumbling over and it's tapping and bashing the surface, and it could sort of mark them. If there's any inclusions, it could crack the stones, and I just really would not do it at all. So once your pieces have been taken out of the barrel, to prolong the life of the shot, I would always put the shot back into the barrel, and also I would always put the water back in until it just covers the shot. Now, if the water is dirty and it's black, don't reuse it, throw it away, put fresh water in here, but always remember to add that little bit of barreling soap as well. So we put it back into the barrel, the water is covering that steel shot, the barrel soap now is going to protect that steel shot, and this should be fine for a few weeks. If you're going to leave it anything longer than that without using it, we'll then take out the steel shot, perhaps put it on a radiator, dry it nice and thoroughly, and put it back into the container. But something like this will be fine for a few weeks in between use, and the steel shot will stay nice and shiny, and it won't rust because there's rust inhibitor built into the soap. So that is the Evans metalsmithing barrel polisher and also rubber barrel, available from Manchester Minerals. Links are in the description down below if you want to go and buy your own barrel. I think a barrel polisher is excellent for producing a gorgeous, gorgeous shine in those little hard to reach areas. It's time saving, space saving machine as well. It allows you to get on with other work as well whilst your items are being polished. My name is Andrew Berry. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye bye.